Important piece to the whole thing is that we're going to be able to identify what's being sold, who's selling it, and evaluate the abuse. It's wiped out. It's cleaned up right away, and it's long overdue. And the other piece we were going to say is the prescription monitor, the prescription pads, tamper-proof prescription pads. New York, as you know, because
so that means what for the viewer?
They have a lot of people will, if you talk to any doc, go in a doctor's hospital or any place else, and within 5 minutes, if you're talking to docs, they'll say, "Oh, I just had a prescription pad stolen." So what that means is an addict got the prescription pad, they fill out prescriptions, they go in and try to sell them.
Go to the local drugstore, yep.
52 ways this company has a mechanism where that they cannot be tampered with. So it legitimizes the whole prescription so that people can't just counterfeit them and do all the various things that an addict would do to try to get the pain medication. So you really have stepped up to the plate to the point that we're going to have an infrastructure in place to kind of grab control of this epidemic, and I'm very excited about it. And through the biotech industry, this I think it's Alchemies is a company, and I know that we talk about this. For those of you that are suffering out there, there's a drug that they've applied to the FDA, and it's most important that you ask about this and check into it, because they've got this drug that would block the receptors in your brain, and they can give you a shot for 30 days. And even if you did use, because you're sick and you wanted to try to use, it wouldn't work. So it's a good way to try to counter the addiction to the brain, because we have the neurobiological evidence that this is a brain addiction. This isn't just, a little habit you've developed. It actually changes the way the brain is. And having this type of a shot, Tim, where we could give a shot, say 30 days, 60 days, and say 90 days, then you give a person a real good shot at getting better because they've been off that drug long enough.
Right.
Of course, you have to keep them out of their neighborhood and all the other
change their
education.
Habits, personal
Exactly.
Habits, who they hang out with, their routines.
Exactly. And so that's real exciting. The other part is consolidating our efforts in the schools. We want a pilot program so that there's a trained counselor in every middle and high school. And most important, we're not looking for an unfunded mandate on cities and towns, because you've been responsible to municipalities. But we're saying, with the talent we have in the school department, make sure that the teachers, the custodian, the nurses have opportunities to be certified in counseling and interventions, so that if kids are doing drugs, we say to them, hey, you got your whole life to do that. But while you're at school, take advantage of what we have here, rather than saying, okay, Tim, you've just got caught with pot in your locker or whatever it is. You're out of school for 2 weeks. Turn it around. Let them know that it's not accepted, but we'll work with them to get better if they have an issue, or to do the right thing.
Evaluated,
Exactly.
And then what the proper course is.
And to look at it differently, because so many superintendents, unfortunately, that we've talked to will say, oh, we don't have a problem in our schools, and we know they do, and it's not.
Well, obviously they do, because you're one of the founders of the recovery high schools, and we've been able to try to, there's demand at those schools, and because people want that alternative.
You've been down to those schools.
Right.
You've seen the inspired faces of these kids who were so sick and then got their life together.
Second chance.
Now they can't get enough.
Positive support with other kids in recovery.
And they turned it around. And those investments, remember, those investments in a person's life is saving the state hundreds of millions of dollars, because they're not going to be a drain on the system. They're going to be contributing. And
Courts,
that's
TCF,
exactly.
Juvenile, adult incarceration in the medical system, police.
We're hoping to do a lot of jail diversion. Especially what people have to understand is, with this jail diversion piece, under the OxyContin heroin, it's not just a one-day type of treatment. We need to take people who are addicts and give them an opportunity to have long-term good care, rather than treating it with jails.
Like Hope House.
Well, there it is. There's many of them there. When we get them out of the treatment, we send them to Hope House. Best counseling in the state. They've got some great people there. We're real proud to work with them.
Well, I'm looking forward to joining you there after we do the show today. But thank you, Senator Tolman. Great champion on behalf of
and thank you, Governor,
this issue,
for all your help.
As always, we welcome any ideas, suggestions, feedback, or comments on this show, or suggestions for other topics. Thanks for being with us here on the Commonwealth Report. I'm Lieutenant Governor Tim Murray, signing off.